Hey there, welcome to another exciting week of our English journey. This week, we're diving deep into the ocean of language as we explore comparatives and superlatives. Now, you might wonder, what's the big deal with comparatives and superlatives? Well, these are the tools we use to express comparisons between and among things, making our conversations richer and more detailed. This week, we'll learn how to compare things using adjectives and adverbs. And as you already know, I will explain to you how to form comparatives and superlatives. Now, this is not the most difficult grammar. I think you've seen this before. For example, let's compare these two handsome gentlemen over here. I have one man and his friend. They're the same age, they go to the same school. They maybe have the same hobbies. They're pretty much the same person, but you'll be able to notice something different about the two of them. If I want to explain what's different about these two people, what I'm going to do is use a comparative. Here you can guess that one man is taller and one man is shorter, right? That's what comparatives are. On the other hand, a superlative is when we compare more than two things and we want to say which one's the best. So we would use a superlative to talk about the best in the group. If I see these guys over here, let's say for example, the man with the glasses and the blue, white, and green striped shirt, he is the tallest. He's taller than the woman in the yellow shirt. He's taller than the man in the green shirt. He's taller than each individual. But for the group, we're going to use EST to show the number one in the group. That is our superlative. All right, that's the basics. Now I just want to give you a lot of examples. For comparatives, we use ER and more. English is easier than Chinese. That's confirmed. He's better at this than you. This guy is better than you at this. Movies are more fun than books. Some people prefer movies to books, not me. I prefer books. She's more beautiful than I am. My wife is definitely more beautiful than I am. I'm not very beautiful, not even very handsome, but of course, if you disagree with that statement, you can express your opinion. My apple is bigger than yours. This is an apple. This apple is bigger than your apple. Superlatives now. English is the easiest language to learn. Yes, that is true. He's the best teacher ever. You might be talking about me or you might be talking about a different teacher. Either way, you can say that they're the best teacher ever. He's my best friend. I don't have a picture of him, but my best friend's name is Sandor. He's number one. This is the most fun I ever had. I know English is super exciting. Express yourself. Say, teacher, I love English so much. It's the most fun I've ever had. She's the most beautiful actress. This is the biggest apple in the world. This is, for sure, the biggest apple in the world, maybe in the galaxy. And this is the world's biggest rabbit. Let's compare apples and donuts. Are they the same? No, of course they're not the same. So let us use these words: healthy, small, sweet, tasty, delicious, and good. These are all adjectives to describe the apple and the donut. We're going to use these words to make our comparison. I'm going to start with apples. Apples are, then donuts. Use the ER. Apples are healthier. They are smaller, depending on the size of the donuts. This apple is smaller. I think apples are sweeter. They taste sweeter than donuts to me. They're tastier and they are definitely better. All around healthier, tastier, sweeter, they're better than donuts. So that's how we can compare, right? Right there. Remember, if I use a word like healthy with a Y at the end, I change the Y to I and add ER. If it's a long word like delicious, that's 3 syllables. Long words are going to use the word more and not the ER. And of course, words like better are special words. Don't say gooder apples. Apples are better. Now I'm going to use a new grammar. I'm going to use as. Donuts are not as healthy. Donuts are not as small. Donuts are not as sweet. Donuts are not as tasty. Donuts are not as delicious as apples. Donuts are not as good as apples. This is super easy. As. We use as when two things are the same level or same degree. I'm as tall as my brother. My brother and I are both the same size. I can say, my brother is as tall as me, or I'm as tall as my brother. It means we are the same. In this case, I'm saying donuts are not as healthy as apples. This means that apples are more healthy. Apples are smaller. Apples are tastier. Apples are more delicious, etc. If you don't want to use not as, you can also say less to show opposites. Donuts are less healthy. Donuts are more unhealthy. Donuts are bigger, less sweet, less tasty, less delicious. They're overall worse. So we can use less to show the opposite. Just remember that we don't use ER when using less. Okay, now it's time for superlatives. What's the best fruit? We're going to use the same words as before. What's the best fruit? Let's think about what we think is the best fruit. The healthiest, avocado maybe. The biggest fruit, watermelon. The sweetest, sometimes strawberries are super sweet. The tastiest fruit, I would say grapes. Some people say that grapes are the most delicious in the world. And the best fruit, an apple. Apples have a great crunch to them. So here I'm using EST, like the ERs. Remember, healthy, where Y changes to ER. In this case, it changes to EST. And of course, words like good change to best. With big, you have to add a G. Okay, worst now. Worst fruit. If I want to say it's the worst, is it healthy? No, not healthy. Not big, not tasty, not delicious. How can I change it from best to the negative version? I'm going to say this fruit is the least healthy, the smallest, the most bitter, the least sweet, the least tasty, the least delicious, the worst. The absolute worst fruit in the galaxy, the worst fruit in the world is, in my opinion, this one. It's called a durian. What a fruit. It smells awful. It tastes not that much better. I'm going to say no, thank you. All right, that's it for me. Now I want you to get out there and start comparing. Wow, that sure was a long explanation. And you're probably asking yourself, what do I need all of that for, right? Well, imagine you're describing your dream vacation or discussing the features of the latest gadgets. Knowing these comparatives and superlatives will help you convey those details more precisely, making your expressions vivid and engaging. Learning this will be a breeze. We'll go through examples, play some interactive games, and practice a lot. Remember, the key is not just to understand, but to apply these in your everyday conversations. So let's embrace the in-depths of language, navigating the deeper and the deepest. Week together. Explore the learning materials, join the activities in building your knowledge, have fun with game time, and most importantly, dive deep into let's practice. Happy learning!